Authority, end of quote. Honorable members, the approval hearings for the nominee of Director General
were jointly conducted by the respective committees of both houses of Parliament. As you may recall, on Tuesday, 1st October 2024, the National Assembly considered the report of the Joint Committee and approved the said nominee for appointment as Director General of the Competition Authority. Honorable members, the approval by the Senate now concludes the bicameral consideration of the proposed appointment. I am informed that the decision of the Houses of Parliament has now since been transmitted to the appointing authority for necessary action. The House is accordingly informed. Thank you.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, October 15, 2024. 1. Legal notice number 147 of 2024 relating to the Social Health Insurance Amendment Regulations 2024 and the tariffs for the healthcare services under the Social Health Insurance Act. Number 2, the annual corporate report of the Office of the Auditor General for the financial year 2023-2024. Number 3, report of the Auditor General and financial statement of the Kenya National Insurance Company 2001 Limited for the year ended 31st December 2023. And 4, report of the Auditor General and financial statement of Public Service Superannuation Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay.
I think we also have a paper by the chairperson of the Budget and Appropriations Committee. Who is representing the chair or the vice chairperson, Honorable Emase? You may proceed.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 13th October 2024. The report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on its consideration of the Senate amendment to the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, National Assembly, Bill number 38 of 2024. And I lay. Thank you.
Thank you. Next paper is from the chairperson of the Mediation Committee. You may proceed, Honorable Kangogo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 15 October 2024. The report of the Mediation Committee on the Water Amendment Bill, the National Assembly Bill, number 33 of 2023. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
The chairperson, you have a notice of motion. Chairperson for the Mediation Committee, Honorable Kangogo.
Yes, Honorable Speaker. Madam Speaker, I beg to give a notice of the following motion. That pursuant to the provisions of Article 113, subsection 2 of the Constitution, understanding Order 150, subsection 3, the House adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Water Amendment Bill, the National Assembly Bill number 33 of 2023, laid on the table of the House Tuesday, 15 October 2024, and approves the mediation version of the Water Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 33 of 2023. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. And honorable members, permit me, before we go to the next order, which is order number 7, it has just come to my attention that under order number 4, there was actually a petition by the honorable member for Machakos Town, Honorable Caleb Mule, which was omitted by mistake. So I'll give you a chance. Honorable Mule, are you ready? You may
Yes.
proceed. Thank you. Then we shall go back to order number 7 after this.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it's on the public petition number 17 of 2024 regarding the failure of Insurance Regulatory Authority to protect public transport operators on insurance claims. I, the undersigned, on behalf of Machakos Matatu Owners Association, Mamoa, draw the attention of the House that Mamoa represents over 4,000 public service vehicles operating in the lower eastern region of Kenya. The association and its members have constantly complied with all relevant laws governing the public transport industry. That the Insurance Regulatory Authority is mandated by the Insurance Act to, among others, formulate and enforce standards for the conduct of insurance and reinsurance business in the country. That the grievances by the operators stem from the recurring and persistent financial losses they suffer caused by insurance companies that fail to uphold their legal and contractual obligations. That although all vehicles fully comply with the required terms and conditions for partnership with insurance company, they have been unjustly subjected to severe economic hardship, leading to the loss of property and livelihood. That the following insurance companies regulated by the IRA have consistently refused to honor claims from operators in the event of accidents, namely Invesco, Amaco, direct line insurance companies. That despite payment of monthly premiums for these insurance companies, securing compensation for accident victims have proven extremely difficult due to inefficiency and ineffectiveness of the aforementioned insurers. That in many cases of accident involving their fleet, these operators face double expenses because despite paying premiums, they are forced to compensate accident victims themselves contrary to the legal framework. That these issues have plagued them to decades and have been perpetuated by the regulator's failure to exercise its legal mandate to regulate the insurance companies mentioned. That in addition to failing to honor claims, these insurance companies have not provided legal representation in pending court cases when needed, leading to defeat of many accident cases in court due to absence of legal representation. That Mamoa has suffered irreparable harm due to the failure of these insurance companies to honor claims, resulting into more than 10 of our members now facing court orders to show cause why they should not be committed to civil jail for failing to compensate accident victims. And that the issue in respect of which this petition is raised are not pending before any court of law, any constitutional or any legal body. Therefore, our humble petitioners pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, intervenes on behalf of the operators and urgently address the issues surrounding the compensations and valid accident claims by the aforementioned insurance companies. Recommends that the Insurance Regulatory Authority formulates and enforces standards and conducts for insurance companies. Recommends that IRA compels insurance companies to honor all pending claims to protect the public transport industry, considering the virtual role public transport plays in revenue generations in the country, and make any other recommendations or action it deems fit in addressing the plinth of the petitioners. And your petitioners will ever pray. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. And this particular matter is going to be referred to the Public Petitions Committee. Is the chairperson of the Public Petitions Committee here? The vice chair is here. Yes, Honorable Janet Sitiene. How many weeks do you need? I didn't hear you. Give her the mic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We will handle the matter as a committee. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I think they're asking about time frame because it's a bit urgent.
Honorable Speaker, we have other petitions scheduled, but we will fast track accordingly so that we'll give him within 2 weeks. We'll put him on the schedule of listening to the petition. Thank you.
Thank you. So, honorable members, we move back from order number 4 and revert back to order number 7. So we can go to the next order. Order number 7.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Honorable members, we have statements, and the first one will be a statement by the member for Isiolo County, Honorable Mumina Bonaya. Honorable Mumina Bonaya is not present. Okay, we'll proceed to the next one. Request for statement by the Honorable Prontos Akuja, member for Loima. Is the member for Loima present to seek his question? That will pass then, that one. The next statement, request for statement is by the Honorable Joseph Lekuton, member for Laisamis. Member for Laisamis is present. Let him have the mic. You may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 44's 2 subsection C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education regarding the submersion of learning institutions due to rising water levels in Lake Turkana. Honorable Speaker, for generations, Lake Turkana has been a vital resource for the people's economic and cultural well-being, with fishing being their primary source of livelihoods. Regrettably, over the past 4 years, Honorable Speaker, the rising water levels in Lake Turkana have led to the closure of a number of learning institutions as they have been submerged. This has greatly impacted not only the residents' way of life, but also the educational opportunities for their children. The rise in water levels has adversely disrupted students from learning further. And further, Madam Speaker, this has led to a reduction in attendance of learners to schools, hence negatively affecting the gains made towards enhancing access to basic education. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I seek to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education on the following: a detailed report on the number of schools and students who have been affected by this submersion, urgent measures being put in place to ensure all affected students are able to attend schools, including steps taken to relocate submerged schools and provisions of temporary classrooms and offices to enable learning to continue, and plans put in place to ensure candidates are able to undertake their exams in October 2024. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. The chairperson for the Committee on Education. or a member who's present to give an undertaking on behalf of the community? Honorable Melly, I couldn't see you. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'll give a response.
Do you have a go to the mic?
Yes. I'm saying I'll give a response in 2 weeks' time.
Okay. Thank you, Chairperson. Next is a request for a statement by the Honorable Joshua Kandiye, member for Baringo. You may proceed, Honorable Kandiye.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Pursuant to Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor regarding the role of Ministry of Labor and Social Protection in regulating labor migration through private recruitment agencies, and whether the State Department of Diaspora Affairs has encroached on their roles. Honorable Speaker, labor migration has immense socio-economic benefits to both countries of origin and destination. It is a source of employment and livelihoods for migrant workers, bridges skill gaps in destination countries, supports skill development and technology transfer, and a source of much-needed remittance in the migrants' workers' countries of origin. Honorable Speaker, over the years, Kenya has continued to experience migration of its citizens to different parts of the world, including Europe, United States of America, Asia, Latin America, Canada, Australia, Middle East, and the Gulf region, with the bulk being the youths who are seeking employment opportunities in international markets where their skills are in demand. This trend underscores the importance of efficiently managing labor migration while ensuring the protection of Kenyan migrant workers. Honorable Speaker, despite the significant benefits accrued by the country from labor migration, the sector still faces a number of challenges, which include weak coordination of labor migration, management, inadequate information on labor migration, inadequate policy and legal framework on labor migration, limited bilateral migration agreements, inadequate social protection for migrant workers, inadequate regulatory framework for private recruitment agencies, and high cost of remittance. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor on the following. What are the roles of the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection in registration and regulation of private recruitment agencies involved in labor migration? 2, how does the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection work together with the State Department for Diaspora in regulating the labor migration sector, while ensuring the State Department does not encroach on the roles of the ministry? 3, why and how do private agencies banned by the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection continue to recruit migrant workers? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. And this particular statement is been referred to the Departmental Committee for Labor. A member of the committee, as I see the chairperson is not here. Is the chairperson here? Any other member of the committee? In that case, then I will let the representative, the leader of majority, Honorable Naomi Wako, you shall ensure that this gets to the Committee for Labor.
Yes, I will do that, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Okay, let's proceed. We have another request for a statement by the Honorable Member for Funyula, Honorable Dr. Awundo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands regarding the status of the Register of Government Lands as provided for under the various land laws of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, after Section 97 of the Government Lands Act Cap 28 was repealed, it was replaced by Land Registration Act. The Register of Government Lands established under the now repealed Section 97 of the Government Lands Act became a register as provided for under Section 104(1) and Section 105(1)(c) of the Land Registration Act. Additionally, the Constitution classified land in Kenya as public land, community land, and private land. Article 62(1) further defines public land to include an alienated government land, land lawfully held, used or occupied by any state organ, land in respect of which no individual community ownership can be established by any legal process. Honorable Speaker, despite the provisions of the Constitution, the country has been indebted by reported cases of unclear acquisition and encroachment of public land. In other cases, private individuals have acquired titles to public land without following the provisions of Section 9 of the Land Act. Several audit reports by various committees of Parliament have found cases of unaccountable public land and public entities not knowing the extent of their land holdings, nor having any ownership documents. This has resulted in loss of public property, conflicts, and rampant cases of demolition. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson, the Departmental Committee on Lands, on the following. Number one, the current number of titles and parcels of land and the total number of government lands appearing in the defunct Register of Government Lands that was transitioned to the new land register as provided for under Section 104(1) and Section 105(1)(c) of the Land Registration Act number 3 of 2012. Number two, the changes, if any, in the number of titles of public land and acreage in the period between 2012 and 2022. Number three, whether there is a designated registrar for public lands among those appointed under Section 12 of the Land Registration Act number 3 of 2012. And finally, plans in place to ensure the registration details of public land are made known and available to the members of the public as provided for under Section 10 of the Land Registration Act number 3 of 2012 and Access of Information Act number 31 of 2016. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. The matter is, the statement is referred to the Committee for Lands. Is the chairperson of the Lands Committee here? Again, Honorable Naomi Wako, you'll take a note of that.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I undertake that because the member has raised a weight issue, we need about 4 weeks as a committee to reply or to respond to that. Thank you.
Thank you. That's noted. And now I think the Honorable Member for Loima is back, and therefore I'll give him an opportunity to also request for a statement. Honorable Prontas Akuja.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to request for a statement regarding the school feeding program in public primary schools in pastoralist communities. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44(2)(c), I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education regarding the school feeding program by the National Council for Nomadic Education, NACONEC. Honorable Speaker, the National Council for Nomadic Education in Kenya, NACONEC, is a semi-autonomous agency established under the Ministry of Education with the mandate of initiating the development, implementation, and review of policies in all matters regarding to education in ASAL areas. The Council mobilizes funds and other resources from various sources in order to support relevant programs, including school feeding program in nomadic regions. The school feeding program was designed to promote education by increasing school enrollment, improving the health of school-going children, and enhancing overall academic performance. However, it is deeply concerning the public primary schools in ASAL areas, specifically in Loima constituency in Turkana County, are facing an acute shortage of food supply since the commencement of the current term. which has been a recurring problem. Honorable Speaker, this situation is particularly alarming given that grade 3 and grade 6 candidates are expected to sit for their national assessment soon. Many vulnerable children who are motivated by availability of food in schools have been forced to drop out of school. The shortage severely undermines the welfare of the learners and has a negative impact on the education sector in the region. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education on the following. One, reason for the persistent delay of food supply on public primary schools in ASAL regions. Number two, report on assessment of NACONEC's capacity to meet the educational needs of marginalized communities, including any challenges the agency might be facing. Number three, plans for immediate intervention to ensure timely supply of food to the affected schools. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, the request for statement will be forwarded to the chairperson of the Education Committee. Honorable Meli, you may give an undertaking.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I give an undertaking that I shall bring the report back to the House in 2 weeks. But Madam Speaker, on the issue of El Molo and because the examination process is actually due or has started already, I promise to undertake that I bring the report before Thursday, especially on the examination issue. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable members, before we continue with the request for statements, I wish to recognize the presence of the following schools seated at the public gallery: prestigious Vineyard Academy from Embakasi East Constituency, Nairobi County. Also St. Dominic Kitise Secondary School from Makueni Constituency, Makueni County. And lastly, Njumbi Primary School from Mathioya Constituency, Muranga County. On behalf of the National Assembly, I wish to welcome them to the House. Thank you. Next, we have a statement by the Honorable Doris Donya, member for Kisii.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. There's something I want to note. Today, for the first time, I bought the newspaper and I saw the petrol prices have gone down by 8 shillings. Diesel has gone down by 3 bob or 3 shillings. And kerosene has gone down by 9 shillings. What by 6 shillings, that is now like 7 shillings because it is 6.9. I was not good in math, but this 6.9 could be 7. Madam Speaker, I was just discussing with the Honorable Clive. I was telling him I've seen prices go up. When prices go up, those of us who use matatu, the fares hike. They hike. That is maybe from 2015. Now the prices have gone down. I was telling, I don't see a day when I will wake up and find the prices of transport have gone down, now that most of the transportation vehicles are using diesel. I wanted to note the government is doing good work, but customers down here, we are not feeling the goodness of these prices going down. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
That matter, I think, will be responded to by the chairperson of the committee, Transport Committee. Any member of the Transport Committee here? Honorable Milema, you want to say something? Honorable Dawood? But it's very valid.
Madam Speaker, it will have to be after the recess because we're going on recess. So after recess, another week or two. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Dawood. Honorable Milema, you said you have a statement? You are not on the list.
But I've been
Is
given
it a response to a statement or the statement?
the statement itself.
Okay, I will allow you. Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. A request for a statement regarding the sporadic attacks occurring in the Muhaya constituency and Vihiga County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the sporadic attacks occurring in the Muhaya constituency and Vihiga County in general. Honorable Speaker, several gangs armed with assailants have been using motorcycles to conduct theft by attacking residents and pedestrians along the markets and roads of the Muhaya constituency. The gangs have been using weapons such as machete or crude blunt objects to rob people of their belongings and injure them severely. The rampant cases of insecurity are specifically common along the Luanda-Ebuyangu to Yala Road, Humusalaba Emusutsui to Stendikisa Road, and on Esirulo to Luanda Road. Honorable Speaker, it is unfortunate that several persons who have been attacked along these areas are either dead or admitted in hospital due to severe injuries sustained. For instance, on 2nd of October 2024, that's this month, an armed assailants with guns attacked and killed Mr. Nicodemus Olinjo Abuyeka of ID number 2900028, who was a businessman and boda rider from Esaba village in a Muhaya sub-county. Additionally, a Miss Diana Mamamboga, vendor at Luanda Market, was killed on 24th September 2024, while two other people, namely Eli Mukuna and a Mr. Anthony, were attacked by the armed assailants at Sokomoko and have been hospitalized due to severe injuries that they sustained. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. That one, a status report on investigations into the killing of Nicodemus Olinjo Abuyeka from Esaba village in the Muhaya constituency, Vihiga County, which was reported at Mbali Police Station on OB number 23/02/10/2024, and if any arrests of the assailants have been made by the police. And two, the measures put in place by the government to ensure deployment of additional officers to police stations in the Muhaya constituency to enhance security, including the timeline for deployment. Honorable Speaker, I add to indicate that this is not the first time I'm asking this, that in the so-said constituency in Muhaya we have 4 police posts and 1 main police station that is not occupied. That is one, the sub-county headquarters at Msire, not occupied despite the fact it's finished. Then we have a Buhaya police post not occupied, a Murembe not occupied, and Ipali not occupied. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
That request for a statement is referred to the Committee for Administration and Internal Security. Is the chairperson present? Yes, Honorable Tongo.
Yes, Honorable Speaker. I will bring the response in 2 weeks, but I want to add one thing. On the issue of constructed and completed police stations, as indicated by the Honorable Member, that has got no personnel, I think it's an issue that we can follow up with him, with the IG. Does not have to wait even the 2 weeks when we bring the issue of instance of death and killings.
All right, thank you very much. Now we proceed to get the responses from the statements that have previously been placed before the House. The first one was the answer to the statement by Honorable Wario, member for North Hor. Do you have a response, the Honorable Tongoyo, on that one?
Honorable Speaker, on the question being asked by, which was asked by Honorable Wario on the issue of North Hor, this issue was canvassed and actually discussed in depth with the CS Interior when he appeared before the committee last. And actually there even a lot of progress, because even the meeting with the leaders of that region has been already taken place. So as such, I have the response, but I prefer maybe to table it as being a document of the House. But we had already discussed it.
Thank you. Let's move to the next response, which is still with you. The one by the answer to the statement by member for Igembe Central, Honorable Karitho.
Thank you once again, Honorable Speaker. I don't know, Honorable Speaker, I need your indulgence, whether the concerned Honorable member is in the House.
Is Honorable Daniel Karitho in the House? So I think there's no point responding to it if you are not here. And honorable members, I see that today there are many members who sought to give a statement and they're not present. Then in other cases, the chairpersons are missing. So I think the substantive speaker has pronounced himself severally on this issue. We move to the next one, is a response to the statement by the Honorable Wamboka, member for Bumula. Do you have a response, Chairperson for Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Affairs?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes, I do have a response. And my response is as follows. Madam Speaker, the member of Bumula constituency, Honorable Wanami Wamboka, sought for a statement pursuant to Standing Order 42, 2C, on the disparities in the Kenya Defence Forces recruitment. He specifically raised the following concerns in his request. Number one, the reasons behind the rampant irregularities during KDF recruitment. Number two is a comprehensive list of youth who were recruited in the last recruitment per sub-county, including those who claimed to have hailed from Bumula constituency. And number three, steps taken by the ministry to ensure that future recruitment process are fair and transparent. Madam Speaker, the committee engaged the Ministry of Defense and above concerns by Honorable Wanami Wamboka, on the above concerns by Honorable Wanami Wamboka, and I therefore wish to respond to the issues as follows. Number one, on the reasons behind the rampant irregularities during KDF recruitment. Factors contributing to the perceived prevalence of irregularities during KDF recruitment include the systematic and cultural tendencies within segments of population that seeks to manipulate the process through various methods, including bribery, extortion, and intimidation. The ministry upholds a strict zero-tolerance policy regarding such conduct. And question number two, on a comprehensive list of youth that were recruited in the last recruitment per sub-county, including those who claimed to have hailed from Bumula constituency. The response will be, Madam Speaker, in the most recent KDF recruitment drive carried out in 2023, 14 individuals from Bumula constituency were recruited, 12 male and 2 female. Number three, steps taken by the ministry to ensure that future recruitment processes are fair and transparent. The response will be, the ministry continues to ensure that KDF recruitments remain a fair and transparent process through civic sensitization and mass media information to curb recurrent malpractices. I submit and I thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker.
Honorable Wamboka, are you satisfied with the response?
Honorable Speaker, definitely not. The gist of this question was that people were recruited in Bumula constituency
and they do not come from Bumula constituency. I went and engaged my administrative officers, the chief, Madam Lucy Makoha, for instance, Assistant Chief Ruben, and all the village elders. They do not know any one person who was recruited from Kimaeti sub-county. And that is the gist of this question. What I expected from the chair, who is my good friend and my namesake, is that you give me the names that you purport were recruitees of Bumula constituency, which you have not. Mr. Chairman, number 2, on a comprehensive, just a minute. My question number 2 was a comprehensive list of the youth that were recruited. How do you understand that question, Honorable Chair? Honorable Speaker, this clearly, the chairman is trying to hide something. He knows the truth that Bumula was disadvantaged, just like many other constituencies in this republic, and he's trying to cover it up. Please do not politicize the military of Kenya. It may be the only thing that is remaining professionally in this republic. We want fairness. We want every corner of this country, every sub-county to feel part and parcel of that institution. So, Honorable Speaker, of course my question was not answered. I do not have the list. I need to see the list so that I disapprove the chairman that those people he has in the name of Bumula constituency do not come from Bumula constituency. Thank you.
Do you have an answer, Honorable Koech? One more. Okay, allow, you have a point of order, Honorable Milema?
Thank you. On a point of order, just to emphasize, I'm sorry, Honorable Speaker, what is said. It's a matter that the chair can take very seriously. Because I had a similar situation. And I have to explain it well, Honorable Speaker, when our former senior colleague was still under that particular ministry. And the names of the people who were recruited in the armed forces, Honorable Speaker, from Emuhaya, were not from Emuhaya. And you know that it's so glaring, it has to be said, that even the officers working under the provincial administration, Ngao, they know that some syndicate somewhat is happening where these names can be mopped up and be fitted from a certain constituency and go away. So at the end of the day, the celebrated quota, Honorable Speaker, which would want all departments to adopt, whether it's the Ministry of Roads, the Ministry of Energy, and now the Armed Forces, Police, and even the NYS, Chair, is not being followed, and therefore that emphasis should make you, as you go back to look at your research, to look at the holistic picture in many of our constituencies. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Koech, Chairperson.
Madam Speaker, now that 2 members have raised this issue, let me first say that maybe, Honorable Wamboka, it would have been easier if you had given me the names of those you think are not from your constituency. But number 2, as a matter of concern, because now it looks like it touches on most members of parliament, I'll take a step further to make sure that as members are requesting that there might have been recruitment that have been done in different sub-counties, but the names really are not from those sub-counties, to make sure that that anomaly is worked on, because whatever has happened now, and make sure that in future recruitments, if it is for Emuhaya, for instance, we make sure that all the 14 names, like has been provided now, are from that constituency as indicated. Because it will be a lie then to say, you are, for instance, going to have recruitment in Bumula and go and get people from Shinyalu, register in Bumula and be employed from Bumula. So I will take that matter up, and if Honorable Wamboka has more questions in regards to that and the names as he's requesting, I will then put the question to him, which of the names of the 14 that were recruited are not from his constituency.
Member from Bumula, do you have the list? You were given the list.
Honorable Speaker, National Assembly has asked the ministry to provide the names of the people they recruited in Bumula constituency. For crying out loud, why is the chairman passing back the ball to me? Because he knows he cannot produce those names, Honorable Speaker. And now, the chairman says, this is now a bygone, that it has passed. I find that too unreasonable, Honorable Speaker, because this is how constituencies, different constituencies have been missing out, while others continue employing more people. It beats logic, Madam Speaker. Why would you pick children from Garissa constituency, for instance, and come and recruit them through Bumula constituency? Why would you pick Kiambu children to come and recruit them through Emhaya constituency? And now that he is admitting that it has happened, what measures do we have to put in place to ensure that those constituencies who suffered are restituted? What do we do to ensure that the missing slots that Bumula has been experiencing has them? What do we do, Mr. Chairman? What do we do? And this is not just 2023. This goes down to so many years of recruitment that some constituencies have not been producing children in the military. That is why, Honorable Speaker, you realize that the military is continually being politicized. That you cannot feel part and parcel of this country because of such things. The net effect, Honorable Speaker, of not recruiting children from every constituency, it means that progressively, when these people grow up the ladder, when they climb above that ladder, when they reach promotions, we will not have children from Emuhaya, from Bumula getting promoted. When now it gets to leadership of the military, you will not get people from those regions getting positions of military, of leadership in the military. And it is so unfair. It goes against the Constitution of Kenya, Honorable Speaker. So the chairman is out of order. Can he tell this House when is he producing the names of the people who are recruited from Bumula constituency? Here is out of order. Mr. Chairman, you are out of order. And could you please take this House serious?
That's my prerogative, Honorable Wamboka, to declare him out of order, not yourself. But I'll give Honorable Russo, who has a point of order, and then I'll come to you, Honorable Koech.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable colleague who has just raised this very important question, he said the military is politicized. I think that is far from the truth. The military has recruitment centers. And even with the new sub-counties coming up, then it means there are more recruiting centers that are coming up in the military. But what is important and what he has raised is those recruiting officers in those recruiting centers must identify those young men and women who are coming to be recruited, that they actually come from those locations and sub-locations within that sub-county. I think what the honorable member from Bumula has suffered is potentially people moving from different places because of population or because of looking that it is easier to get employed or recruited there. But I believe the honorable chair has a task to make sure that the few who are being recruited from different sub-counties and constituencies are actually the bona fide residents of those areas, so that no area is unfairly disadvantaged. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I think the Honorable Chairperson, maybe it's easier that if you can't read out the names here, you can always provide them. Yes, provide them to the member, and then you can then come back and report to the House. And
I think, let me just, Honorable Mboka, don't be emotional about it. I understand your pain and I really understand your concern. Madam Speaker, it is also not fair for me to bring the names of all the recruits that were picked from Bumula constituency. It is only fair if you said you want to engage with the Ministry of Defense to understand how it was done in Bumula constituency, and they can do it in private. Because also, these are Kenyans, these are people, and it is important that we keep them as private as possible. So I understand your pain, and I want to promise you that I will deal with it. And if you, I beg your indulgence, if you accept, I'll take the matter up and proceed and request the Ministry of Defense to invite you to explain to you how the recruitment was done in your constituency.
I think we have belabored this point, Honorable Wamboka. Yes, Honorable Wamboka, I'm helping you here so that you can get a resolution. Honorable Wamboka, I will help you get a resolution. Usually, the names are published in the dailies. Isn't that right? Honorable Chairperson, the names are normally published in the dailies. Per constituency? Yes, proceed, Honorable Wamboka. I'll give you a minute before we... Okay, there's a point of order here, Honorable Wamboka. Honorable Wamboka, before you proceed, Honorable Wamboka, I'll give you a chance to proceed. Let's take the point of order from Honorable Pukosa, then we'll come to you.
Okay. Madam Speaker, I need guidance from your chair because military is a very sensitive and it deals with the security of this country. Exposing the names of the military officers publicly affects the integrity and the security of the nation. And I think, yes, I think saying that you want the names from all over the country, I think we are playing into a very dangerous game. And therefore, if we want to speak, if we want to be specific to Pumula Aron, then that can be at that.
Yes. And Honorable Wamboka, what we were saying is, and which is what the chairperson offered, is that you can have a meeting with him as representative of the people of Bumula, engage with the military, go through that list, and give them sufficient facts to confirm that those persons are not from Bumula constituency. I am sure that going forward, they shall ensure that the next recruitment will ensure that people from Bumula will be taken. So I think that way your problem will be resolved.
No.
Because I think at the end of the day, you just want to be able to prove to them that those persons are not from Bumula and ensure that going forward, they shall have a better system of counter-checking where persons can be declared to come from Bumula. And I think that is something that can be resolved. And then you can later come back to the House and confirm that the matter has been resolved. Is that not the... Are you happy with that?
Give me the mic. Honorable Speaker, I have a problem. When the chairman of Defense Committee wants to hide behind your chair, this is the National Assembly. These people were recruited publicly and during the day. Honorable Speaker, this is the National Assembly. There is no other house that is supreme, more supreme than this house. Honorable Speaker, that the Ministry of Defense went and recruited, in the name of recruiting people from Bumula, brought other people. And that is the reason why he has not given those names, Honorable Speaker. And it is a question addressed to him. Why should I have to go to meet the minister in camera? No, I refuse to do so. This is the National Assembly of the Republic of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, we have asked the chairman to produce the people that were purportedly recruited in the Bumula constituency. It is period. We have honorable members who are also have the same problem, Honorable Speaker. My next problem, Madam Speaker, is that we just move forward like that. How? How do we move forward when constituency A has 20 people in the recruitment, while constituency Bumula B has 0? Continually, Bumula is disenfranchised. We cannot proceed like that, Honorable Speaker. And that is why we are saying we will not go to see the minister. The chair has to give the names of those people that were recruited in this house. This question was asked in this house, Honorable Speaker.
I think the chairperson is not saying he won't give the names. He's just saying it's prejudicial to make the names public, considering they're already in the military. That was the issue that he was raising. What's your point of order, Honorable Farah?
Mr. Speaker, Wamboka is my very good friend. But my point of order is this. And for the benefit of the House itself, you cannot discuss anything to do with ordinances, the weapons, the number of forces we have, the names of anything of our security forces. That is a strategic matter. Order. It's a... That... Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker.
Allow him, Honorable
My point of order.
Just allow him to prosecute. You'll have a chance to respond. Order, honorable members. Honorable members, you will have an opportunity to respond.
My point of order. Mr. Speaker, can I explain? Can I explain?
Honorable Wamboka. Order, honorable members. Honorable Wamboka, we've given you so much. Hold on. Honorable Wamboka, we have given you great opportunity to prosecute your case. We are still prosecuting your case. You have not been gagged. Honorable Clive, if you have something to say, you can rise on a point of order and speak to it, but not heckle from your seats, because that way we will not make progress. He's allowed to let each member say their part. Then we can proceed, whether you disagree with it. Because how would you feel, Honorable Clive, when you will want to say something, if other people agree and heckle, how will you feel? Let everyone have their say. It doesn't necessarily mean that other people can speak and others cannot. So proceed, Honorable Farah.
Can I have it? I am not in any way negating what somebody feels should be done. But I'm talking from the traditions of the House. If you want to discuss a matter that's of national security, you seek an appointment, you have the House in camera. And only then, listen, we have a nation and a sovereign state called Kenya, which belongs to all of us. There is no way in the world. No, I am on a point of, can I finish my point of order? You cannot discuss, and you are lucky, because if I was on the chair there, I would throw you out if you insist on that. Thank you.
Honorable Chairperson of the committee, but that's the person whose the question was directed at. Proceed. Honorable Elachi, stand down. No, I'm not giving you an opportunity.
I have listened to members.
I have given this position to the chairperson.
Let's end it there. I want to promise that I will invite all the members that have issues with the recruitment before the committee. It will be held in camera, like has been said by the Deputy Speaker. And I think all the issues that you've raised will be dealt with at that point.
Okay, let us proceed. We already have a conclusion. Yes, it's. Honorable Karoli, what did you want to say? I know you had your hand up earlier.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity. I think we are not being very judicious in the way we are handling this matter. We are dealing with recruitment. We are not dealing with military operations. We are dealing with a process that is guaranteed under Article 10, our national values of transparency and accountability. Article 35, Article 231, 1J of our Constitution guarantees, and Section 18 of Parliamentary Powers and Privileges gives this House the power to ask for the information that the honorable members asked. We cannot hide behind mere statements. There is nothing posing security risk to the Republic of Kenya by disclosing the names of the people who are recruited under fraudulent circumstances. Actually, a crime has been committed, and this House cannot shield commission of a crime. When you deny people their rightful chance to be recruited in KDF in their sub-counties by importing other people and then claiming that there is some security issue about it. A crime has been committed. It is fraud.
Okay,
and this House has the power to...
Honorable Karoli, you are speaking as if it has already been confirmed that a fraud did take place. There's been an allegation by Honorable Wamboka. What we want to do is try and confirm that what Honorable Wamboka is saying is correct. Then only at that time shall the names be brought out in public. So we've given an opportunity for the matter to be resolved between the concerned sub-counties and the security forces. And Honorable Karoli, we're not talking about ongoing recruitment, we are talking about post-recruitment. These are persons who have already been recruited. So Honorable Karoli, shut up, Honorable Karoli. Please. I've said that the matter, we are trying to get a situation, honorable members. Oh yes, my apologies, because he has been shouting. Honorable members, we are working towards a resolution which will allow the names to come to the House. We are not directly allowing the names now until some preliminary investigations and gathering of information has happened. And Honorable Karoli, you were speaking even when I hadn't given you the mic. So you are out of order. That's why I could use that language on you. So let us proceed. Honorable Wamboka, your matter is under investigation. We have not closed the matter. It will come back to the House. So even now, if we proceed to discuss it, we are only speculating. Can we get an opportunity when actual facts, absent of speculations, can be brought to the House? And I will rule that this matter shall be brought back to the House after further consultations with the committee. That is the end of this matter. Let's move to the next order. I think there was a statement, an answer to the statement by that came from Honorable Titus Lotte. What is your point of order? I didn't know you have a point of order. Honorable Omola Otiende, don't be angry. You don't have to get upset. I didn't know it was a point of order. I thought you were part of the heckling. Okay, proceed with your point of order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I respect your ruling and guidance. Since the point of order is directed for your guidance, Madam Speaker, I respect your ruling and guidance that the matter will be discussed further. There's only one problem, that, Madam Speaker, you are leaving it at a point where the chair has said that they will invite Honorable Wamboka and any other member with an issue to the committee. That's the problem. Madam Speaker, when a member poses a question here and many members find it affects them, usually they await the answer instead of everyone bringing the same question. So we were awaiting the answer on this. Madam Speaker, it is grossly inaccurate for the Honorable Deputy Speaker, Second Deputy Speaker Malim, to misguide the House, and it goes unchallenged. There is nothing in the KDF Act that prevents a disclosure of the names of persons who are recruited. The same way, Madam Speaker, before deployment of our forces anywhere, it's usually brought to this House to approve. There are things that cannot be disclosed, but recruitment is not one of them. We are just in a process where this House impeached the Deputy President for such practices. How can we then say
that we do not want, and when we want to know how people have been recruited, then it is secret. We want to know, not just the KDF, not just the police, not just the teachers, all of us, because we represent constituencies. The answers should always be brought here. Madam Speaker, I urge you, in line with your ruling, to guide that when the matter comes back, the chair should be prepared to indicate for all of us, for our benefit, who was recruited in which constituency. You know, we are not even going to the issue of how many people do we have in the defense forces. We are only talking about the last recruitment. What is secret about that? What is the national security on Ombosoro, knowing that my constituent was not recruited in his constituency by fraud, and vice versa? It is accountability. It is in line with Article 47 of the Constitution. The Access to Information Act actually requires that such information should be availed even before it is sought. So when it is sought, I'm afraid that the chair of the committee ought to bring it to us. I so humbly submit, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, I think let us stay focused that this issue is relating to a matter that was raised by the Honorable Member for Bumula. The Honorable Member for Bumula has raised very serious concerns. We have said, let us find a methodology that is easy and efficient for him to get his answer accurately. That's why we are going in this direction. And we have said, we are not closing the matter. The matter shall be reported back to the House at the appropriate time. So we are not closing it. So right now, yes, that's now a valid question. What are the timelines? So the Honorable Chairperson for the Departmental Committee for Defense should tell us when can you, and I think if other sub-counties have an issue with it, that can be raised at a later date by those particular sub-counties. Let us start with Bumula constituency. If in the event that we find that Bumula constituency had challenges, when the chairperson reports, then we can now go step by step to other sub-counties. But let us confirm that there is in fact a problem. Then we can now deal with how to deal with a larger policy situation in this. So that way we will have a better chance of being able to go to a resolution rather than talk shop here and find no solution at the end of the day. So the only answer I will entertain on this point now is from the chairperson to tell us how long, so that there is a time frame, and you will come back to report to the House. Are you satisfied, Honorable Wamboka, with that?
When?
Yes. Yes, timelines. Proceed.
When we resume, Madam Speaker, if you will be adjourning on Thursday, I want to say immediately we resume 2 weeks after, if that is okay with the Honorable.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Member for Muhaya, you did not bring a statement, but I am told that it's because your neighboring constituencies, it will probably touch on your constituency also. But we are not opening it up for other people to bring their grievances. They have their own individual opportunity to bring a statement on behalf of their constituents. And no, I will not entertain a point of order on this particular point, unless you have a point of order on something else. And since we haven't gone to the next order, you actually have there is no point of order, because we have closed this matter. Let us proceed. And I think there was a response to the question or statement by the Honorable Titus Lotte, member for Kachiliba. It's supposed to be answered by the Committee on Administration and Internal Security. Honorable Tongoya, you have that? It's the last response.
Yes, I do, Honorable Speaker. And I don't know whether the concerned honorable member is in the House also.
Yes, Honorable Lotte is present. Yes, you may proceed.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, the member of Kacheliba constituency, Honorable Titus Lotte, had requested for a statement regarding insecurity in his constituency, and the member was concerned by a banditry attack at Kases village in Kasai Ward, which had led to a death of 2 women. And in particular, the member wanted a detailed account of the attack and the current status of the investigation into the matter, particularly the killing of Miss Chemket Logolenyang and Miss Cheposangil Rengeyei. Additionally, the member also wanted to know the additional resources or support being provided to strengthen the capacity of security personnel in the Kasese village and Kacheliba constituency. And also wanted to know a report on the immediate and long-term measures being taken by the government. Honorable Speaker, I state as follows. On 25th July 2024, about five armed Turkana bandits raided the Nadome village with the aim of stealing livestock, but were repulsed by the National Police Reservists. However, as the bandits fled toward Lorogon, they shot and killed 2 women, Miss Chamkat Logolenyag and the one Miss Cherosangel Rengeyei, who were engaging in a small-scale gold mining activities in the nearby valley. The police officers responded to the scene, and in pursuit of the bandits, no arrests were made, but the bodies of the deceased were removed to Kapenguria County Referral Hospital for preservation and postmortem, and the bodies were later released to the families for burial. And the case is still pending. The case is still under investigation by the timing of this report, the writing of this report. Honorable Speaker, the government has taken the following measures to strengthen the capacity of security personnel. The government has deployed 50 National Police Reservist officers within that area, revitalized the Peace Committee, which bring together elders from both communities to formulate means of sustainable peace and security in the area. On issue number 3, Honorable Speaker, the government has taken several measures to include measures to address the recurring banditry attack to enhance security in Kacheliba, and of course, in this case, the entire valley region. Intensifying police visibility through patrols, sensitization of the members of the public, engaging the political class across the ethnic divides and empowering on them to enhance peaceful coexistence, sustaining coordination of NPR to enhance their supervision and effectiveness in their operation. Collaboration with the various stakeholders, including local leaders and NGOs, to coordinate meetings between communities living along the borders, and sustaining joint security meetings along the borders, and of course, organizing major security operation whenever there is an incident. Honorable Speaker, the government is taking long-term measures to enhance security in Kacheliba, to include opening up of disturbed areas through construction of security roads, construction of schools, hospitals, and market to prepare the locals for alternative job and livelihood. Increase budgetary allocation to police operation in the operational areas, that is to include the the modernization program, posting and equipping adequate security personnel, and operationalization of the gazetted new Ombolioni location to help improve coordination of security in the disturbed area. Creation of more administrative unit given the harsh terrain and fastness of the area and the population notwithstanding. And admission establishment of the police station at Ombolion. Affirmative action for education. The government is planning to build low-cost boarding schools and encourage all school-going children from Turkana and Pokot to be taken to those schools. Honorable Speaker, on the issue of administrative status of Lorogon village, including reason for being administered from Turkana County, and the measures being implemented to prevent this village from serving as the hideout for bandits, I state as follows. Lorogon is a disturbed area, is a disputed area at the border of West Pokot and Turkana counties, with both communities laying ancestral claim to the same land. Currently, the area is mainly inhabited by the Turkana community within Lorogon sublocation, with an assistant chief under Kaptir location, Kainuk division within the Turkana sub-county. On the other hand, the Pokot community claim the area is within Sogok Songok sublocation, Kapur location, Kasei division within the Pokot North sub-county. Previously, the area was not occupied and was used by the Pokot community to graze field as a grazing field and well as watering point at the Tarkwel River. However, in the early 90s, the Turkana community from the Kaputut, Katilu, Lopur areas moved to the area to mine gold, during which they set up temporary camps and renamed the area Lorogon village. Subsequently, in 1986, more Turkana kinsmen moved to Lorogon to seek casual employment at the Tarkwel hydroelectric power plant. The population of the Turkana community at Lorogon village grew, and with the support from the county government of Turkana, the majority established permanent resettlement. However, the settlement of Turkana in Lorogon area infiltrated the Pokot community and subsequently led to the incest attacks and counter-attacks. This prompted the creation of Lorogon sublocation in 1997 and subsequently the appointment of the assistant chief. However, due to the prevailing hostility in Lorogon, Michael Oase, the assistant chief, is based at the Kalemorog location, Kainuk division within Turkana sub-county. Honorable Speaker, the following measures are being implemented to prevent Lorogon village from serving as a hideout: intensifying police visibility through patrol, the Ngao and NPS partnering with other stakeholders to hold regular peace building and conflict management meetings. There is an ASITU camp at Lorogon area, which was established to serve the resident. In addition, the other formed units to include GSU camp in Tarkwel and Namakwamoru in Turkana South Sub-County security operations. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I submit.
The Honorable Lotte takes the Lotte. The questioner has the first go at it. Yes, proceed, Lotte.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I want to appreciate the Chair for giving a comprehensive report about the insecurity. Mr. Speaker, the only thing that makes me not satisfied with the response is the promises that has always been carried on by government officials. For example, when we say that we have beefed up security by including the number of NPRs, could it be clear, Mr. Speaker, from the chairman to tell us from when this happened, how many NPRs have been added to beef up security? Because for me, that is a fallacy. There is no NPR that has been added apart from those that were there before. The other thing, Mr. Speaker, that makes me a little bit disturbed is on the basis that 4 or 5 months ago, the killings took place, and up to today, they are still not finding the real reason for that. They are saying investigation still continues. Can we be given the right time when this investigation will come to a conclusion and that the right people that killed these ladies are brought to book? Because if investigation continues, Mr. Speaker, forever, it basically means that they cannot get justice, because justice delayed is justice denied. And finally, Mr. Speaker, on the history of Lorogon village, I want to appreciate the history that the chair has given, that this village used to be a Pokot village up to 1986 when Turkana headsmen came to mine for gold. And Mr. Speaker, he has said that the population of the Turkanas increased in this area. Until 1997, they were given a sublocation. Mr. Speaker, I want to know in this country, do we give a sublocation to a community so that this community is supposed to be administered from another county when they are within the precincts of that county? Mr. Speaker, that question remains unanswered, and I will wish, Mr. Speaker, that the chairman...
Ask the question, it's not a speech, it's not a very long, you have already had a sufficient leeway from the chair. Can you allow the chair now, the chairman of the committee, to answer the question, please? Okay, proceed. The chairman will take one more question, and then, of course, we go to the next, question. The Honorable Kosing, Is it causing or opposing? Or you add both of them together?
I thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. But
Karibuni sana. How have you been, guys? Niko poa. Karibuni sana. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. 5 years ago, I joined Weega Company Limited, and now, as you can see, I am a home owner. You too, you can take that step of faith and join Weega Company Limited. They have very affordable and very prime plots, and they give you very flexible payment plan. What are you waiting for? Join Weega Company Limited. They turn you from a tenant to a landlord.
Visitors at Kasarani, Max Plaza, that floor. All callers on 0798 555 444. Weega Company Limited, turning tenants into landlords.